Greetings from Elite English Academy. Dear friends, welcome to PGTRB English 2025 exam preparation series. In this video, let me discuss how to prepare for Unit 8 Literary Criticism. In general, English literature students consider the preparation for literature is easy, whereas the preparation for literary criticism is difficult. To be frank, it is a myth because the quantity of the materials or basic sources available for literature unit is very big, whereas the quantity for literary criticism and ELT unit is very less. If the students understand this basic and based on old questions, so definitely you can prepare for the present examination well. This video includes the questions from the previous examinations that was conducted in 2022. So reading old question paper and adding more information to the facts available are very good strategies for the preparation of Unit 8 Literary Criticism. Now let's enter into the video. If you take the new syllabus, there is not much change. For example, up to 9. So Aristotle's works, then Alan Tate, Tension in Poetry. Up to this, all the 9 works are retained in the new syllabus. Only 2 topics are removed, Keats' Letters and Thrilling Sense of the Past. So we have 2 more editions, Elaine Showalter's Towards a Feminist Poetics, then Simone de Beauvoir's The Second Sex. Even this one, Towards a Feministic Poetics, it is found in the SCRT syllabus. There is an exam and conducted by TRB. It was announced, but it was not conducted. There, this particular lesson is available. So, if a person had prepared well for the previous syllabus, especially for this unit, you have only 2 more new works, but both works are very good works, especially the second sex is bigger than any other textbook. Fine. Coming back to this. Now, based on the first 9 topics available in the new syllabus, let me give you the questions of the previous examination. Last time when it was conducted, 3 sessions were conducted. Now, let me discuss the literary criticism unit questions from session 1, 17th February, if I remember right. Based on that, let me discuss. The other 2 units are available in our main course. Question number 1. The second charge against poetry about which Sidney argues is poetry is the oldest form, poetry is the mother of lies, poetry is philosophy, poetry is science. The question is very obvious. All of you should have studied an apology for poetry, right? Then here the answer is poetry is the mother of lies. Fine. So probably in future, the question may be in that way. What is the first charge? What is the third charge? What is the fourth charge? Similarly, the answer question may be asked. So here is some information for your reference. So the 4 charges against Philip poetry are: poetry is the waste of time, poetry is the mother of lies, poetry is the nurse of abuse, and Plato had rightly banished poets from his ideal republic. Who said all these things? Stephen Gosson. Stephen Gosson made or leveled all these charges, for which Philip Sidney responded in Apology for Poetry. So this is a common question. So most of you should have answered in the previous exam also. Question number 2. Which edition does Sidney's An Apology for Poetry follow? Olney, Ponsonby, Blackwell, Norton. To be frank, this particular information was not included in many of the books. So this was a new question, surprise question for us also. So the answer goes like this, that is only. Here, then to be frank, when this was published, Philip Sidney was not alive. So two important information to be noted. First, Philip Sidney wrote this around 1583. It was published in 1595. Actually, one edition at the same time. So both the defense of poesy and apology for poetry. So Philip Sidney's An Apology for Poetry was published in two different names. So the defense of poesy, it was published by William Ponsonby in London, and An Apology for Poetry published by Henry Olney without authorization. This is the information to be noted for further reference. See, so both were published at the same time in 1595. So under two different titles. So what is the question? An Apology for Poetry follows which edition? It was it was published by only. So that is the answer. So sometimes deeper, and so this question is basic level question. So what is that? Who is the? What is the name of the publisher like that? But so new fact. So normally people used to study thoroughly on the book. So this question is based on the publication detail. So it is an indication we should not ignore the publication detail of a work. Question number 3. I.A. Richards distinguishes 4 different kinds of meaning. They are, so all the things, this is the repeated question I would say. That is sense, tone, text, and like that. Here, what is the answer? Sense, feeling, tone, and intention. Actually, this question is very basic. So, what are the 4 kinds of meaning given like that? So here we have to know. So what is sense, feeling, tone, and intention? What is tense? The literal descriptive meaning of a work, that is sense. So if you read a poetry, so what is conveyed directly? That is sense. So feeling, so that is the emotional attitude of the author. So authors likes, dislikes like that. For example, if Shakespeare has written sonnets, so, what is his feeling towards that dark lady, towards his best friend, like that? That is feeling, the intention of the author. The tone, the attitude of the author towards the audience or reader. Nowadays, in journals, some authors write, authors consider or they address a particular thing to a specific set of authors. So what is the intention of the author? So what is the attitude of the author towards the audience or reader is told. So what is intention? The author's conscious or unconscious purpose in writing. So why the author writes? Is it a persuasive writing, or it is just to give information, or it is to kindle their desire or anything? So intention of the author. So sense, feeling, tone, and intention. What is sense? So descriptive meaning. What is feeling? The feeling of the or the attitude of the author. Then tone. So there is attitude of the author towards the reader, and intention. What is the original purpose of the author in writing something? The fourth one, the terms tension, extension, and intention are associated with. Actually, we have tension in poetry by Alan Tate, right? Tension in. So this is the question that is fixed based on the very basic level. Who is the author? So that is asked in a different way. So we have Alan Tate. Question 5. Which of the following has the power to produce complex patterns of highly concentrated meaning according to Yemsen? So immediately what we have to remember Yemsen's work. So William Yemsen's the 7 types of ambiguity is presented, right? So William Yemsen talks about poetry. So that is the basic answer. As an additional information, I have given the 7 types of ambiguities that may occur in poetry as written by William Empson. First is metaphor, right? That is basic. Second one, two meanings are clubbed into one. Then third one, two ideas that are connected through a context. Fourth one, two or more meanings that do not agree but combine together. So, as in metaphysical poets, far-fetched ideas connected, yoked together, so similar idea. So, fifth one, and when the author is discovering his idea in the act of writing. See, he started with something, but in the process, he identifies. Sixth one, when a statement says nothing and the readers are forced to invent a statement of their own. So the author leaves it in between. So he does not convey exactly this is. Just to readers are forced to understand. The final one, two words that within context are opposites that expose a fundamental division in the author's mind. So two opposite ideas are put together like that. So what I have given is a basic explanation. So detailed explanation while you are reading the text or listening to a lesson, you can understand. So why I provided this, so in future, in other aspects of poetry, because just what is asked, what is mentioned, poetry is the basic question. So based on that, similar questions can be asked. According to Northrop Frye, dash ritual and archetypal narrative to the oracle is the central informing power that gives archetypal significance to the ritual and archetypal narrative to the oracle. So, what is the work by Northrop Frye? Frye's work, The Archetypes of Literature. He's talking about different archetypes. So, most important thing, as it is given in the question, is myth. So, myth, he is talking about myth. Now, complete the sentence. According to Northrop Frye, myth, ritual, and archetypal narrative to the oracle is the central informing power. Fine. Question 7. What does Northrop Frye find within criticism in learned journals and monograph? This is a deeper level question. It is, see, he compares criticism to science. So that is the answer. So based on the overall understanding of this particular work, so we arrive at this answer. Question 8. Who said? The beauty of the poem is the flowering of the whole plant and needs the stalk and leaf and the hidden. So the answer goes by Cleanth Brooks. So irony as a principle of structure. So if you happen to go through all the questions discussed so far, some 3-4 questions are based on the text, that is textual lines. So remember, dear friends, make sure at least go through the text once so that certain questions similar to this can be answered appropriately. Question 9. According to Carl Jung, the archetype representing the female side of males is, that is, Amima. Carl Jung, see, actually, This question and the next question that can be placed under literary criticism, especially this question, archetype, since the word archetype came. So naturally, the human instinct will go. Actually, similar to this in education psychology also we have. So originally, this can be uh, grouped into that particular category also. 10th, Sigmund Freud's interpretation of dreams in 1900 paved the way for deconstruction, psychoanalytic, reader response, Marxist. This also can be categorized under that educational psychology unit. But here, the options, look at the given options, deconstruction, reader response, Marxist. So these options compel us to keep this question within English. So we know Sigmund Freud's interpretation of dreams is associated with psychoanalytic. Actually, earlier we had a unit like approaches to literature. So the previous question and this question could be associated with that particular unit also. Dear friends, I hope this video was useful. And revisiting old questions is one of the very important strategies to prepare for the future exams. So similar to that, you can expect more videos that concentrates on one particular question paper. The remaining question papers are discussed in our main course. So dear friends, if you feel that you can join us for this course, feel free to call us in the given number. Thank you. All the best. Have a nice day.